Well, today I'm standing in front of course, Huntington Beach Central Library, one of my favorite buildings in the entire city, in part because of all the great stories that we know are inside. But what about the stories we don't know about? That's what we're going to find out today on Hidden Huntington Beach. I'm Chris Epton. I'm a writer and a storyteller, the author of several books and many articles about Huntington Beach. And what I like best is uncovering history that you may not be familiar with. This is Hidden Huntington Beach. In the early 1970s, the renowned architectural firm of Richard and Dion Neutra was asked to design the new Central Library. However, shortly before the actual signing of the agreement, Richard Neutra passed away and his son, Dion, was retained to design the project. Construction on the 73,000 square foot Central Library was completed February 14, 1975. The Central Library featured an open and light-filled floor plan, spacious reading decks, and indoor fountains, including a spiral ramp water feature. Today, Ashley Wysocki is the Community Service Administrator at Huntington Beach Central Library. I thought I knew a lot about this place, but Ashley revealed some amazing hidden history. So Ashley, the first thing I noticed that I've never noticed before is this sort of dividing line here. What is the story with this?
So this is actually the original entrance to the building. So if you and I were standing across from each other as we are right now, you'd actually be on the interior of the building, and then we'd be separated by panes of glass, and I'd be on the outside of the library.
So when the library first opened, in the mid-70s, this was the entranceway.
It was.
I've been here 1,000 times, I never knew that.
Yep, and so the roofing above us is original to the building. And the fountain area actually was a popular skateboarding area for kids.
Because that was open then. If this was the entranceway, that would have been open air.
Yes.
And again, you get that real sense of, by design, nature kind of flowing in the building, which is beautiful. So kids would skateboard here?
They would skateboard down it frequently.
How did they get in trouble? Was it allowed, or like what was the deal?
Definitely not allowed, but how could you not? Look at how amazing it is.
And it's a rumor I had heard that one of the people here today, one of the adults today, was one of the kids skateboarding back then?
Yes, our current Parks and Community Services director
would skateboard here.
Yes.
That's true?
Yes, that is true.
That's hidden history right there. That's great.
Thanks.
All right, so you've established now where the original library started and ended. That's amazing. Why don't you take us inside? I know you've got some other kind of things in here to reveal for us, but this is already, this has been a great discovery so far. Lead the way.
All right, let's go.
Okay, so I've seen this before, but I haven't really studied it too much. It's obviously a scale model before the library was built, but there's something unusual about it, right? It isn't exactly what we are standing in today.
Right, so this is actually a original architectural model of what the library was supposed to look like, and closest to me is what was supposed to have been the children's wing of the library.
I was going to say, that's an entirely separate wing that doesn't exist.
Yes, correct.
So that was the original. Do you know why they didn't build it, or?
Unfortunately, I don't think they could secure enough funding at the time, and so we opted to move the children's library into a different area.
You can also see where you and I just came up that ramp a few minutes ago. You can see it there before it was enclosed, which is kind of cool. It's hard for people to imagine. A lot of people today know it as enclosed, but there we actually see how it was originally, which is amazing.
Yep, and one other amazing feature that we have in the library is right over here, and it's our seed library. And so anybody with a library card can come and check out up to 4 different seed packets. We have flowers, herbs, tomatoes, carrots. And so you can come and check out a seed packet, and as long as
just by having a card.
Yep.
That is like taking a book out. Same
Anybody.
thing, no extra fee or anything.
Correct.
Amazing. You've got like librarian picks of what are the kind of hot seeds to take home and grow. This is incredible. Right. Carrots, squash, pumpkin, zucchini, eggplant chard. This is amazing.
Yep, something for everyone here.
Now there's a piece of artwork too that you were telling me about that I haven't seen yet, but I think I've seen it before in another place.
Okay.
Kind of a mystery. Can you take us there now?
Sure, let's head over that way.
Wow, I've seen this before.
Yeah, this is truly a piece of hidden history in Huntington Beach. It was at Norma Gibbs's house, and Walter Johnson, the first librarian here, actually created it.
You know, it's amazing. I was in Norma's house a number of times. We would talk about the sculpture. I had no idea it had been donated back to the library after Norma's passing. This is actually incredible.
Yeah,
and you know what?
gorgeous.
Talking about Walter Johnson, there's another story about he first librarian here at Norma Gibbs. I don't think you know that I would love to share with you. It's a
Okay.
story Norma told me herself, and I would
Right.
love to let you and everyone else know as well. Can we do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Come on, I'll tell you.
All right.
Okay, so it's right over here. You've
Okay.
never seen it. Very few people have seen it. This is what Norma Gibbs told me about years ago. I was at her house. I was writing an article about her, and we're talking about how instrumental she was in the library being here today. And she tells me this story about a guy named Walter Johnson, whose art we just saw, the librarian, and how Walter would always call her but while the library was getting done. And you know, she was very powerful in the city, as mayor, councilwoman, and she would always stop what she was doing and help him out. And the day the library opens, Norma tells me all the dignitaries are up front. He kind of hustles her inside privately. He goes, I have something to show you. And she says, what? There's nobody in here. And he says, everyone out there, there are all those plaques on the side of the building with all your names on it. He goes, but I made something really special for you, your own plaque that nobody else will know about.
Okay.
She's standing right where you are. He directs her attention. Can you see that?
Oh my gosh, I have never seen that before.
No one knows about it, or nobody knew about it. It says Norma Gibbs, she listened. And Walter Johnson put that there himself as a way of saying to her, thank you for doing everything that you did.
Wow.
And she told me about it. I came right over here. I couldn't find, I'm looking all over.
Right.
I called her at home. Norma came down with Kay and her friend Kay, and they came in, and she walked me back and she showed me. And Norma stood right there, just like she did decades ago, and showed me that. And I think of all of the, I love historic signs, especially in Huntington Beach. I think that's my favorite. But I said to Norma that day when she stood here, is it okay if we tell people this story? Because it's going to reveal a very personal secret. And she said, you know what? I think the world is ready. We can let this one loose. It's such a lovely story. It celebrates, she said, look, it celebrates Walter more than it does me. She was very fond of him. So with that, that is my little bit of hidden history here that I can show you, which feels good.
Right.
You have been great, Ashley, but you're telling me there's somebody else here I should also talk to?
Yes, Jose is an employee who's been with the library since it basically opened, and he has a number of stories that he'll be able to share with you and really share some of the library's history.
Let's go find him.
All right.
Jose Aranda is the facilities maintenance manager at Huntington Beach Central Library. For decades, he's been a part of the local library system, and he may be the most knowledgeable expert of all. He revealed something to me that I had never even heard of. It's an incredible piece of hidden history, and once you know about it, you may never look at the library the same way again.
All right, so you've got something like really crazy to show me, right?
Yes, we're going to start here at the janitor's closet, and we're going to climb up a ladder. You're not afraid of heights, are you?
A little bit, but you lead the way and we'll see how I do.
Come on, follow me.
Where are you taking me?
Over here to the left.
What the heck?
This is the apparatus that was used for cleaning the windows.
It's like a gondola.
It sure is.
So
it's a big
it's
cage.
like a track system that.
It's a track system that goes all the way around the interior of the building, and also it extends to the outside of the building.
So you could, okay, this was made to clean the windows inside and outside.
And outside.
It's like something out of Disneyland. It's like
It
a
is.
monorail. I mean,
It sure
you've got
is.
this track here.
I'll show you how to operate it.
And so, did they ever use it?
Only about 3 times.
Why would you go to this trouble to create this elaborate system?
OSHA decided that it was unsafe, so
We can't try it.
we can. No, you won't get on it, but I can show you how it
That would be, Jose,
operated.
that would be unbelievable, because this is like, this is true hidden history.
It is. Okay, first of all, we gotta open this door. As you can see, there's a sliding glass door right here. Watch your head.
Oh my goodness. Can I go out here?
Yes.
All right, so the track comes out here, winds
track
around. Oh my
winds
goodness.
around.
And so it's a dual track.
It's a dual
incredible.
track, and it goes all the way around the perimeter of the building. Here,
This
let
is
me.
unbelievable.
Why don't you give me a hand over
Yeah.
here? See that?
We're on the roof of the library, I guess part of the roof, the lower roof, and it's almost inconceivable. They would have pulled it all around the library.
All around the
and there's an inside and out
That is correct.
to clean the windows.
To clean the windows,
How do
yes.
they clean the windows today?
We have a company that comes in and cleans the windows.
Seems like an easier way to handle it.
Right.
This is incredible. I mean, it's an ingenious design. I mean, the fact that this, again, it reminds me of Disneyland. There's
Yes,
something
the
very
monorail.
centric about this. And I can't believe we're up here on the roof like this. This is really cool. And you talk about hidden history. This is wild.
Yes.
So did you see it when it was operational?
I did, a couple of times.
What was it like?
It was amazing. You saw the workers climb on it and start pulling themselves and hoisting it, and it would rise and lower themselves mechanically by like a jack.
Like 2 or 3 people doing it?
At least 2 people.
Wow. What a system. So they would go out, what blows my mind is they would come out here and be suspended?
Be suspended, yes.
Like this high up. This is enough to kill you.
No, this is higher. See, because this track goes all the way around the perimeter of the building.
Oh my God, this is crazy. So they would literally, this thing would go out over with, I mean, how many stories? Like 3 stories here?
At least 3 stories, yes.
Wow, Jose, this is unbelievable. I think of all the pieces we've discovered, this may be kind of my new favorite, only because I've been here so many times, I had no idea. This library is interesting because there was always something, even though it's designed to kind of blend in with nature, there are these kind of little futuristic touches here and there, and this to me kind of speaks to that. You know, there's something very modern back in the mid-'70s of this is how we're going to clean the
Right.
windows. We're going to establish a track system,
Exactly.
you know, that is also one of the most dangerous things I've ever
And
seen.
the way it was designed, it was going to be utilized for the interior of the building and also for the exterior of the building.
It's right. Just to let people know, this track inside has kind of a parallel version of it
Correct.
that travels.
You can
and you
actually
can
see
see
it.
it all the way
You can see
across.
it,
And man, you know what? You can't unsee it. Now, when you know it's here in the library, you
Now you'll
have
no-
to look up and notice
you'll
it.
notice it.
Incredible. Thank you so much, Jose.
You're welcome.
We're going to head back downstairs, I know, but this is a tough one to beat.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay, follow me. Let me show you what we have.
Oh wow,
over
I
here.
see where we are. I've presented on this stage many times.
is the theater, yes.
I love this.
Okay, well, you see, we have a piece of the old conveyor system that used to transport books from the outside into 2 different departments, the children's department and the adult section. Let's climb up.
It doesn't still work, right?
No, it doesn't. Let's climb up this ladder and I'll
Great.
show
Another
you.
another ladder.
Another ladder.
Wow. Wow. The conveyor belt.
This is the conveyor belt.
There's 2 of them. So one was incoming, one was outgoing.
This
kind of thing.
this one here came from the outside, and it transported the books to the adult section. This one came from the inside, for the books that were dropped off for the children's department, and it would go across the stage and up to the children's department.
This is another. It kind of reminds me of the gondola system to clean the windows. I mean, it's like this
Mechanical apparatus, yes.
Although there was a motor doing this.
Correct.
It wasn't like people cranking.
Yeah,
it.
this was actually automated.
But still, it's kind of an old school. It feels a little bit old-fashioned in a way.
It was
very
never.
industrial.
It was never designed for the usage of transporting books. Mainly, it was to transport hardware and boxes at warehouses.
All right. So okay, that's interesting. So they adapted it.
They adapted it. Yes.
And how long did it work for?
It actually started operating in '94, and then we actually stopped using it for about maybe 7 years ago.
And you were here for all this.
I
You
was.
watched all this
I was.
happen. It's amazing, Jose, that you were
Yes.
part of this. This is actually, I think this seems a lot safer than the gondola system, to be honest. But this looks like it could work today. Like if they fired it up, it would start working again.
It would, yes.
Wow. What do you think they'll do with it? Will it just sit here? Like, what's going to happen?
It would be very hard to remove it from here. The other sections that went across the main levels, they were actually removed.
Amazing. Serious hidden history here at the library.
Yes.
There's one other thing I heard about, kind of a rumor about something in the basement, about a chair.
Oh yes, Mrs. Talbert.
Mrs.
Mrs.
Talbert,
Talbert's
Gwendolyn Talbert, worked here at the library for like 40 years, right? And
She worked for the city for approximately almost 42 years.
right, and she was here at the library a lot, right?
She was. She
in
was
charge of like finances.
finances. Yes.
Tom Talbert's wife,
Yes.
and her chair is still here.
This is down in the basement.
And you're going to show me the chair.
I'll show you.
Let's go.
Come on.
I'll follow you. Now you watch your head.
Yes. Here, let me show you. This is the famous chair, Mrs. Talbert's chair. Right here.
I'm still trying to take in where we are. I mean, coming down here,
This is
we're like in
the-
the bowels of the library.
This
How-
is the
how-
this is the basement.
How many levels? One level underground?
Yes, one
It
level
felt like we
underground.
came down a lot more. Pretty amazing what's
That's
down
because we
here.
have different levels. We
Yeah.
have 4 levels.
This is incredible, but this is
Mrs. Talbert's.
Gwendolyn Talbert's chair.
Yes.
When she worked here at the
When she worked
library.
here.
Wow.
And this actually was transported back from the old Main Street Library when we moved here in 1975. This actually
And you
came with
knew
it.
her. You
I-
knew
I knew
Gwendolyn Talbert.
Mrs. Talbert.
What was she like?
Well, at first, everyone was afraid of her. She was like a sergeant figure. Everyone kept saying, "Watch out for Mrs. Talbert," you know. And I got to tell you this: one day, my mother would make me homemade burritos, and in the Talbert room, in the
Which is upstairs.
which is upstairs in the kitchenette, we have a microwave that is still from the 1970s. So I went in there to heat up my burritos. Mrs. Talbert was coming out of the restroom, and she looked at me and she says, "Young man, what do you have in your hand?" And I froze because everyone was afraid of her, right? And I said, "They're homemade burritos." She says, "I love Mexican food," she said. So I said, "Would you like one?" She says, "I would love one." She went back to her office. A few minutes later, the phone rings at the circulation desk, and they said, "Jose, Mrs. Talbert wants to see you," and everyone panicked. They thought, "Oh, what happened? Did he get in trouble?"
This is it.
This is it, right? So I walked into her office, and she says, "Have a seat." And she says, young man, who made these burritos?" I said, "My mother made them." "Tell your mother that these are the best Mexican burritos that I ever had." Wow. And from there on, we became really good friends and smiles and everything.
Isn't that amazing? All over your mom's burrito.
That's
How
it.
terrific. Well, this has been a real treat. I will never forget. I will never come in, when you come in the library and you look up and know where those tracks are, or you're outside the building and notice it. That's because Jose showed us that. So I think you've changed a lot of lives of folks watching. So
Perfect.
thank you again. I want to thank you for watching. If you want more of this hidden history, check out our Facebook group, which is simply Hidden Huntington Beach. And you've got thousands of people there sharing all kinds of stories and pictures and movies and all sorts of things. It's a lot of fun. In the meantime, I want to thank you for watching this episode, and stay tuned for a new episode of Hidden Huntington Beach coming up soon. Thank you.